Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of A Handful of Hope. I'm so happy and grateful to have Charles Suwa Singh here with us today, who is a first-generation Canadian. His family immigrated from Guyana in the late 60s. He's of Indian, Chinese, European, and African ancestry. Professionally, Charles is an ICF certified leadership and whole life coach. He's been coaching for nearly 8 years. He's the co-founder of Way, a boutique coaching company with a focus on bringing consciousness to leadership, organizations, and relationships. He's also a faculty member with Coactive, a global leadership training and coaching certification organization. He's certified in Imago. Is that how you say that, Charles?
Imago.
Imago
Imago.
Imago relationship facilitation, and is educated in neurolinguistic programming, emotional intelligence, conscious leadership, and positive intelligence. In the last year, his work has taken him to speaking and coaching on anti-racism, diversity, and inclusion. Charles is married to his partner in life and business, Donna, a father of 2 teenagers, a lover of music, cooking, travel books, and golf. Charles, welcome, and thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
And there's there's so much different stuff going on in the world right now, and I'm curious, where is your heart being most drawn and pulled towards in terms of what you're doing personally, professionally, from a place of service? And is that something that has been affected more so by everything that's going on right now?
Yes, I'll answer the last question first. Yes, very much so. And where I'm more conscious of in my work and in my relationship with my family and friends, is talking about what is race and what it is to be racist, what it is to be anti-racist. What are the language we're using to describe racism, the problem it is, the ongoing debates whether it's real or not real, whether we can support it with data or not. Is it an experience? Is it something measurable? Is it like all of these things are in my space right now, where I'm being drawn into or called into or conversations, not particularly with Black people or people of color trying to understand. It's more with white people. There is a, and I won't say en masse because I can't measure the mass of this, but there are people who actually truly deeply want to understand this. I think there's with all the maybe conscious work that we've been doing, all the mindfulness work we've been doing, now this is coming into their space and they're just like, well, okay, is this a real thing? Right. And I think many people are awakening to the idea that it is possible that racism does exist, but they just don't know what it looks like. Because they never had to experience it before, but what they see on TV. So I've been encouraged and invited to and called into a number of conversations around educating people around what it looks like and what it is to experience racism, and the challenge is even just talking about it. Yeah, that's really my space right now, and even having the conversation with my kids and my family and stuff like that. Clearly, I'm a person of color, so this is not new to me. I've experienced some kind of discrimination everywhere in my life, whether it be at school and work, amongst my peers, friends, wherever I am in my neighborhood. Experiences some kind of racial tension. So to have this conversation with my kids, my children are, I'm much darker skinned than my kids. My kids are much fairer skinned. They're almost white appearing. But they've been conflicted by their social identity as well, like how people perceive them and what their experience of family and culture and ancestry is. But to have these conversations with them has been so rich, in understanding and unpacking and learning, and moving and inspiring is all those things.
I was going to ask about.
Okay, before I get into my opinions here, I am just going to quickly run through um, my own, you know, parents, sister, and first cousins here. So, first introduction, my mom, my dad, and then my sister. Yes, she is my full sister because everybody, and they are my full parents because, people have this impression that, you can tell ethnicity and by appearance and skin color. But anyways, my sister there, well, she's Beelzebub from hell. And like it says right there, she always said she's turned into, I only like Asians and I hate everybody else. She's a racist. And here we have her oldest son, who's very much like her. And although also being half Polish, thinking about it, quite a lot of my family um, has issues, especially on my dad's side. But that's a long story, and I'm not going to get into that right now. But what I will show you is I'll show you how my family looks like compared to what people who don't know my family and just see me tell me who my family is. Um, I even one time was at the beach and I was just sitting there and this American black woman came up to me and she started a whole rant about how she hates white people in Canada. And then the white people in America are so much better because they're racist, she says, and they're racist to your face. She goes, white people here pretend to be nice. But that's the worst type when they're pretending to be nice and you know they're racist. So I did tell her, well, basically you're assuming. And then when I told her my background and everything else, she goes, I want to tell you that your family all hates you too. Well, she just hated everybody. So you know what? That just goes back to my cousin Charles there. He's never been to Guyana. He was born in Canada as well. And he made a comment that it's mostly like it's white people who have the problem with racism. I'm going to say this. Um, it's more than just whites that, have stereotypes. So that I would have to debate him with there. I'm pretty sure many of you will look at these pictures and go, oh, well, they're just friends getting together because some look white. Even the ones who look white are mixed. And guess what? It's on my dad's side, it's how family get-togethers look like. Racially ambiguous, when you have so many different backgrounds. I'm not going to explain how DNA works, but that is definitely, you can look like any race and be full siblings. This one's my dad's side. Let's see if I don't have too much of my mom's side, and my sister stole all those photo albums too, so it's just what I have. But I just wanted to show, because many people, they hear that, Guyana prides itself of having 6 ethnicities, but yet they'll only tell you, oh yeah, maybe there's black, Indian, oh maybe they'll also add in sometimes Chinese, and sometimes they'll remember Amerindian, and they forget that it was supposed to be a country that has that many. I used to think, because I thought we were like a regular Guyanese family because that's how we were brought up thinking. We were brought up thinking, oh yeah, Guyanese people get along, There goes that, one people thing. And when I went there in February, I was like, wow. And even when I went back, wow, no, they're very divided. And even like culturally, I think my cousins think culturally we're a lot alike, but I think they haven't been there, and I really think they should go and realize that it's quite different. I mean, we're also, never mind culture, we're also brought up to accept people of all races as human beings. But, in the real world, this isn't the case. People do divide themselves. One thing, for example, is my grandfather was born in Canton, and then he moved 1911. He's one of the few that's listed as actually being a small amount of Chinese who migrated there. Met my grandmother, who's half Chinese and Indian, and he also had a wife in China and a daughter in China, and that's why I have cousins in China too. Um, so as for food, because he was a cook in China, and as for food, honestly, like Wani Funsi Futchuk, I never even knew what soya sauce was until I realized what everybody was calling soya sauce is really xiao. That's what I grew up calling it, xiao. Um, and the Chinese food in Guyana is very different than the Chinese food our grandfather cooked for us all the time, and the Chinese food my dad made for my sister and I all the time as well.